So you're considering a move to Florida's Sun Coast. You don't know all the things that you need to consider before you move here. Well, I'm going to give you 10 reasons you may not want to move here. Yeah, may not move here. And I sell real estate for a living, but I want you to consider these before you make a move. Hey, my name is John Bice. I'm with EXP Real Estate. I market very heavily to people who are relocating here and baby boomers who are retiring and considering maybe becoming snowbirds, maybe moving here on a permanent basis. But I want to talk to you about these 10 things. And I just so happen to be doing it at the perfect time of year. If you do not like heat, you don't want to be here on a full-time basis. I was in my car yesterday, said 99 degrees, and it felt like 199 degrees, I'll tell you. We're having the El Nino or whatever they call that right now. So we're having some really hot weather and not our normal rainy season type of thing. So I will tell you, July, August, and September are ridiculously hot, crazy hot. But we do have 6 months of just amazing weather. But if heat is one of those things that really gets you, this may not be the place for you year round. I do these videos about 3 to 4 times a week, by the way. So if you're looking for information about relocating here, it doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer, a family moving here, retired, baby boomer, whatever it is, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll get notice every time I put this information out. And it's absolutely free for you. By the way, I'm a Florida native, so I can give you all kinds of information about living in this area. We handle Manatee and Sarasota County, by the way. I grew up in St. Petersburg, so I still go over there occasionally for some buyers or a listing. So I'm here to help you out. If you're not a big fan of the beach and things to do on the water, this may not be a great place for you to come to, because that's part of our probably 50% of what we do here is get out on our beautiful beaches, or we get into Sarasota Bay where we have several sandbars around. You can go out to a couple of these sandbars on a holiday weekend, and there will be hundreds of boats parked there, literally hundreds of boats parked there. People have grills on the back of their boats, walking around the sandbar, music playing. It's phenomenal. But if you're not a fan of going to the beach, being on the water, kayaking, fishing, water skiing, everything you can possibly do here on the water, maybe it's not a place for you. Now, I know a lot of people ask me and inquire about also the villages up in Ocala. If you're not at all worried about being near the water, that might be a place for you. But just keep in mind, once you get out of the villages, the controlled villages, they control the housing, they control the restaurants, they control everything. You are in cow pasture. You're in Ocala. I mean, horse farms and cow pasture. That's what's outside of that area. So you get to like Orlando or whatever. But if you like the water, this is the area to be. If you're not going to be able to handle snowbird season, which starts 1st of November, goes all the way through April. Actually, the first wave of snowbirds start going home right around Easter or after Easter, and then the rest bail out right after Mother's Day. But if you're going to live here on a full-time basis, you're going to have to expect a 25% increase in the population. That means traffic. That means going out to restaurants, shopping, just going to the grocery store. It's a completely different experience. And you got to understand, you got people coming from all parts of the country. Now, I'm not saying some parts of the country are a little bit more fast paced, a little bit more abrupt than other parts of the country, but we tend to be kind of Midwest type of people that come to this coast, and the fast-paced Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, like the East Coast. So we're a slower pace here, and you have to get used to that. But during snowbird season, again, a 25% increase. And really the big thing is traffic. It's just crazy because think about it. You got people from all over the country with different driving styles, and they come here, and for some reason, they don't think there's such thing as a U-turn. They think it's okay to be in the far left lane and make a right turn, stopping in the middle of the road because that's the road that they wanted to turn at. It's crazy. So you got to get used to that. Our traffic does get pretty squirrely. They are working around the clock to make it better. The exits here, they're making all kind of additional lanes for people entering the highway, for people that are the traffic that are just flowing along. But if you're retired and you're here and you don't have any reason to be out between 8 o'clock and 9:30 or between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, it's a good idea to stay home. Now, going out to dinner or something, one of those things, but that's when our traffic is ridiculous. The rest of the time, just flowing right along. But again, you got to get used to that. And then once that extra 25% of the people go home, guess what? Traffic's amazing again. So it's all good. Rainy season, a normal year when it's not the El Nino thing we got going on now, it rains every single day. Not every other day, it's every single day it rains. And you can normally set your watch by it. Typically 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see the clouds out east start gathering, getting dark. Occasionally they roll in from the beaches, but we'll get a rainstorm every day. Now, it'll be bright and sunny like it is right now. 30 minutes, it'll be absolutely pouring rain. And then it'll be bright and sunny like this again. My house, we're at east-west, east to the front, west to the back. It can be raining in my front yard, and I can look out back sometimes and the sun's shining. So it's just those kind of things. So rainy season, if you don't like that, that's when we have it, typically during the summer. Finding your way around. It gets a little confusing, especially if you're in Lakewood Ranch. You got to start to learn where everything is. And I think the big thing is that University Parkway divides Manatee and Sarasota County. So to the south of University Parkway is Sarasota County. To the north is Manatee County. Now, a lot of the roads around here, especially in Manatee County, let me give you an idea of an address that I had when I lived in Manatee County. I still live in Manatee County, but one of the first homes I owned here. I lived on 63rd Avenue Drive East. That's a thing. That's a thing here for sure. I don't know how they came up with those things, but fortunately we have GPS now because there was a 63rd Avenue in my neighborhood. There was a 63rd Avenue East, I think it was. And then there was 63rd Avenue Drive East. So I don't know how they did that, but it can get a little confusing. Where's Parrish? Where's Venice, Nokomis? Where do those areas start and stop? So it gets a little wonky if you don't know where you're going and what to look for. Heading out to the beaches, it can be a little confusing sometime, like what beach you're going to end up on, what bridges to take, what's the back bridge to take to go to Siesta Key as opposed to going over where everybody else goes over to the beach. Yeah, those are good things to know. Walkability. If you're looking for a home here where you could walk over to the grocery store, where you could walk to get coffee, where you can walk to do whatever, typically, no. Now, they're building apartments and condominiums everywhere. And they're actually building them around these areas where you can walk to a restaurant, where you can walk to a coffee shop, you can walk to the gym. But if you're looking to be in a community, in a single family home, they just don't do that here. It's Florida. And June, July, August, and September, there's nobody walking anywhere except walking out of our air-conditioned house to our air-conditioned car. And most of the time we go turn on our air conditioned car so it'll cool down before we ever get in the car. So getting out of your house and just walking somewhere, you're not going to find it. Now, again, there's condos. If you go down downtown Sarasota, ton of condos down there that we can help you find where you can walk out, coffee shop, breakfast places, restaurants, all kinds of things. But it's condominium living and you have to be looking for that. And you talk about congestion when the snowbirds come in. They've built all these condominiums and they've built them right up to the road. And guess what? The roads are still like they were back in 1980. They haven't expanded the roads. So you're talking some serious congestion. So something to consider. Bugs. I think Florida is the home of every bug that was ever put on the planet. It's no joke. Like if you leave your door open for like 10 seconds, you're going to have 10 mosquitoes, a lizard, and a dragonfly fly in your door while it's open. It's crazy. Most of the time, it's this time of the year when we've got all the rain, the mosquitoes are going crazy and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we have an amazing pest service that we use. I am a bugaphobe. I cannot stand to see a bug in my house. So we have an amazing bug service. It's $95 a quarter. They come around, they spray all around the exterior of the home. We never see anything. It's pretty awesome. But we have bugs. We got ants of every single kind you can imagine. We've got, obviously roaches. There's everything that's here. I even discovered when we moved into the area where we live, there's a ton of fruit trees. And I'd never heard of it. There's such thing as a fruit rat. And they love to get in those fruit trees and eat all the fruit off of there. So we have to have bait stations outside of our house that our pest control company does. Guess what? I never see a rat. But when we first moved here, definitely saw them. They look like they're about this big. They look like gerbils, but they were going crazy. My neighbor has orange trees, grapefruit trees, lemon tree. We've got avocado and mango. It's heaven to them because it's just free food, right? So got to remember those things. Change of seasons, we don't have it. The only change of season we have, and I like to joke about it, we have 4 seasons. We have hurricane season, snowbird season, love bug season, and summer. That's our 4 seasons. But if you're looking for like a beautiful change in the weather and the trees going golden and all that, it's Florida. We're in the tropics. We don't have it. If you don't know what a love bug is, that's a different video, but we have love bugs too. So you may want to ask somebody about that one. HOAs. Most of the people that I'm working with are looking into communities like a Del Webb or over in Lakewood Ranch, a gated community. You're going to have an HOA. If you don't want to be controlled by an HOA, we got to get you out of these master plan communities because they're going to have it, because they're going to make sure that everything is uniform. Now, they're not over crazy. Like my neighborhood has an HOA. We're not a gated community. It's $470 a year, but they make sure people are mowing their yards, that my next door neighbor is not going to paint his house pink, that if somebody's going to put a fence up, they have to apply to put the fence up so they know what kind of fence is going there. I don't want my neighbor putting up some privacy fence and blocking my view of the lake. Things like that. It's not out of control, but the more you pay, I guess you would say, for an HOA, the tighter the restrictions get. And then they start looking at things like, gosh, I don't know, are you maintaining this? Are you maintaining that? But they're all going to have HOAs of some type, some very lenient like mine. If you get into condos, it gets absolutely crazy. You got to ask to do anything. So, yeah, that's something you want to consider for sure. Does an HOA bother you? And remember, if you're going to be a snowbird, the HOA fees go year round. I would say the average HOA fee out at one of the Del Webbs that we have here, and we have 4, It's probably average of about $500 a month. Now, remember what that covers. That covers gated security, all of your yard work. You never have to do one thing on the outside of your house. They trim the bushes, they edge, they mow, they even set the sprinkler system for you. And then use of all the amenities in that Del Webb. So their pools, jacuzzi, pickleball courts, tennis courts, bocce ball, gymnasium, getting involved with all the activities there. But if you're only going to be here 6 months a year, you're going to be paying that $500 when you're not here. Okay. So keep that in mind. It's amazing value, I think. I pay $150 a month for my yard. I pay for my wife and I to go to the gym. We're not a gated community. So that all adds up after a period of time. All right. So 10 things, maybe 12, because I got a little carried away, that you really need to consider before you move to Florida. Now, I would love to help you find your home here. You can call me, get a pencil, 941-962-7443. You can text me on that number. You can email me. Everything is connected here. My email is, now I spelled John, Jon, no H. So John, Jon, B as in boy, dot, F as in Frank, S as in Sam, H as in Harry at gmail.com. And that's Florida Suncoast Homes, FSH. So if I can help you, please feel free to call me. I'm happy to answer questions for you. I'll do anything I can. There's somebody texting me right now, so I'll end the video. Thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.